How do I handle problem clients? This is a common topic in the coach groups that I am a part of. And I hear coaches talk about it on the regular. How do we handle those clients that maybe, oops, I wish I never said yes to? Well, there's a few different ways, friends. So let's talk about a few of the different ways I have, and then I'd love to hear any of the ways that you've handled difficult clients. Let's first define difficulty. Sometimes they're confusing coaching for therapy, and it's a lot of history and it's a lot of, Sometimes they don't really seem all that motivated. They're not taking action steps forward. They're not doing anything. And sometimes it's just a personality clash. You are not their cup of tea. They are not yours. For clients that seem to be going to the past or bringing up super emotional issues where this is not what this isn't what I do as a coach. I want you to hold a strong boundary. This is not what we do as coaches. When our clients are getting stuck in the past, they are attached to an emotional experience. They're attached to a trauma with a capital T or a lowercase t trauma, meaning a small traumatic event in their life, but they're still attached to that trauma, or they just want to keep going back and rehashing. Notice I said rehashing. If that's the case, it's time to stop their coaching program and recommend they see a therapist. And that's a very easy conversation. Client, I sense that you have a lot of energy on this thing. And I think this might be the thing that's getting in the way of these goals that you're set in our coaching, the outcome that you've set in our coaching. I don't think I'm the right person to be able to help you do that. See, coaching is about helping you move forward, but it's hard to move forward when you're tethered to a 100-pound weight of the past. That's what therapists do. They help you cut the tethers. I think it might be time to pause our coaching and for you to go see a therapist. Have you seen one before? Do you have one that you know? Can I make a recommendation for one? I've had this conversation with a coaching client, and I stopped charging her for coaching. She was part of the way through her program. We charged no more. And you know what? She came back, and we've worked together multiple times since on different projects. But she needed to get over, and she respected the fact that I said, you need to get over before we can move forward. Now let's talk about that second type. They just seem not motivated. Let's first, cut. Now, that's not to say, don't hear me say here that you as a coach can't discuss anything from the past. Frequently on our coaching sessions, things from the past come up. They need to tell us the story, but you need to redirect them because our job is not to help them heal trauma from the past. Our goal is to help them move forward. So simple questions like, I hear that. How do you think that affects you from achieving this goal? Or how can we let go of that to help you move forward? Or where does this connect to this forward-looking accomplishment that I'm helping you with? It's not that history or the past never comes up. It's that we as coaches are not mental health professionals meant to deal with trauma and helping people let go of that, or mental illness and helping people work through that. That's not our thing. We might know some stuff about it, but we need to operate within our lane. That way, therapists will enjoy working with coaches and may even refer us some clients. A collaborative relationship, not a competitive one. Now let's move to the second type of client that I was talking about, the one that seems just not motivated. I get it. I've worked with these clients too, where they say they want one thing and you're asking them to take some steps forward. Here's one of the things that I need you to understand first. You may need to do more explaining than what you need. So there are certain endotypes that are action-oriented. This is your next step. Boom. They go out, they do the next step. This is your next step. Boom, done. What's my next step? Boom, done. That's one of the 4 endotypes. The other 3 need to know, why am I doing this? The information, the research, the thought process behind doing things. They are probably going to be people who want to talk things out a lot more. And the emotion, the feeling, they need to feel connected to you. They need to feel connected to the idea and the process. They need information before they move forward. So don't assume that if you're an action-oriented person, that you're also working with somebody who thinks and acts just like you. But if after you've explained the whys, the information, the research, the thought, you're connected at that emotional level with your client, they still aren't not taking action steps forward, then it might be time to have that conversation. I love the conversation. That could go something like this. I just want to, can we talk about something here that I'm noticing? I'm noticing that you said at the beginning of our program, you want X. Is that still what you'd like to see by the end of our program, or in the next 6 months, or in the next year? This? Yeah. To get there, you're going to need to do more of the things that I'm coaching you on. We're going to need to make a little bit more progress. Right now, with the amount of action steps that you're taking right now, it's not that there's no progress. Don't hear me say that. But I think we need to have a realistic conversation to expect, by my evaluation, which may or may not be right, you could expect by the end of our program, or 6 months or a year, to be here, not here. And be very specific. If at the end of our program, you were here, knowing the time that you've invested and the energy you've invested and even the money that you've invested, are you going to be happy and satisfied? Because I am fine if that's the pace that we want to move at. I just want to make sure that we're in alignment of where we're probably going to end up. That puts them in the driver's seat, because you don't really know all the things going on in their life. They may have realized that although they thought they were ready to go at, 100 miles an hour out of the gate, that because of the kids and this, and wrestling just started for the little one, that they may need to go 35 miles an hour and might be able to get up to 60 later on. But as long as you are clear on expectations, that's great. Now, there are a few of you out there that are like, Laura, I don't want to work with those clients at all. I hate those people. I hate the people who are not the action takers. I get that. I understand that. Is your marketing attracting them? There are certain things that you can do in your marketing that are going to attract certain segments of the Endotype formula and not others. So if you're finding yourself with a whole bunch of clients that you don't like, It's time for a marketing strategist. Time for you to give Coach Laura a call, and we'll do a little strategy session and see what's going on inside that marketing. Now, I will say that on occasion, when I have put that ultimatum or that explanation in front of some of my clients, and I've said, here's where you said you wanted, here's where I think we're going to be. Are you going to be satisfied? They were like, no. And the discernment that I had was that they really, really didn't want to do this program. See, they were starting to turn into the third category of clients, people I signed up that I just didn't want to work with anymore. And so the end of that conversation sounded more like, I think maybe life's changed for you. Maybe you had a different expectation of what this was going to be, but I'm not sure this is the right coaching program for you at this time. Knowing that you want to ultimately be here, I don't want you to waste energy, emotion, finances, only getting to here and then to at the end be disappointed in the work that we've done together. I don't want that to happen. I would rather lose money right now. Put your program on pause. Just stop it. And when you're ready to take those action steps to really start moving forward, great. We'll turn it back on. Or maybe I'm not even the right coach for you. And if that's the case, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I know I'm not the right coach for everybody. I'd be happy to help you find a coach or a solution that might work better for you. Which of those two options seems like it might work best? See, that's a really nice way of saying, you're fired. I don't need you as a client anymore. You're driving me crazy. Without saying those words. Keep it professional. Take ownership of it yourself. And again, we go back to, if you're bringing in a whole bunch of clients, what made you say yes to that client in the first place? Were they even somebody that you wanted to work with? Or was it just like, oh, somebody said yes to I have to work with them. I can work with anybody. Friend, you can't work with everybody. You can't work with anybody. The Endotype Formula system has shown me for the last 9 years that in our unique design, we are really designed to be able to work with 3 to 4, maybe 5 other endotypes. There are a total of 16. You are best suited to work with 5. For some of you coaches out there, that is not okay. I've had so many coaches tell me, yeah, but I'm different. I can work with all of them. You can. You shouldn't. You're designed to work ideally with about 5. I'd love it if you got down to 3. Now, there might be an offshoot or two, right? Where somebody comes to you, they're not your ideal type, but they're here for just this little segment of your coaching. They're here for just a little refresher of your coaching. Or maybe this program you offer is ideally suited for 3 to 5 here, and this program is more suited to a different 3 to 5. Laura, how do I know which 3 to 5 endotypes I'm ideally suited to work with? Boop, boop. I'm your girl for that. I'd love to be able to talk to you about your endotype and what those superpowers of yours are that are going to help identify the endotypes that you're ideally suited to work with. In fact, if you've been a coach for a while and you've worked with a number of different clients, but it's kind of like, I can't see what all of them have in common. Let's talk about their endotypes. Because together we can probably get down to 1 to 2 endotypes that you'd really like to target with your marketing, and then strategize your marketing process around them. That is the way to handle difficult clients. Now, for those of you who are watching who have had difficult clients, I'd love to know how you dealt with them differently than what I said. Let's have a conversation about it. Go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know how you've dealt with those difficult clients.